I have a very interesting answer to this question right here. Because narcissists don't think that the perfect mate, the perfect partner exists in their heads. So what a narcissist will do is go out and find other people, other women and things like that that have different personality complex like characteristics. Put them all together, kind of like a Frankenstein's monster of different women and different men and things like that to fulfill different needs of the narcissist. So you get a narcissist that might be messing around with 3 or 4 women that are all completely opposite, that fulfill different needs of the narcissist. One of them might be good looking, one of them might be financially stable, one of them might be a good talker, one of them might be a fitness person. They all fulfill a different need for the narcissist. So that's why they can casually sleep around with different people and things like that and feel like there's nothing going on. Like there's nothing wrong with that because they're fulfilling different needs with different people through different people. Hope that made sense.
What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am self-aware narcissist Lee Hammock, the diagnosed narcissist from TikTok that uses his platform to, raise awareness for narcissistic personality disorder, get more people into therapy, and validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. This series right here is dedicated to just taking my TikToks and making them longer. They are 60 seconds or less. They're going to be longer over here. The one you just watched is about how there is not a perfect person for a narcissist. And this is just my belief, y'all. I know people that talk about grade A supplies and a perfect supply or whatever. To me, in my brain, that there is not a perfect person for a narcissist. I know people, you can be as malleable as you want. You can change as much as you want, but I just don't think that there's anything that you can do to be enough for for an undiagnosed narcissistic person, for just an unaware narcissistic person. Sometimes for the self-aware ones that therapy is not helping. You know what I mean? And I believe this because, I think a narcissist needs multiple people, not just affair partners. I think people, when I say no perfect person, I mean just no perfect friend, no perfect wife, no perfect husband. I mean no perfect parent, anybody. There's no perfect one person for a narcissist to fulfill all a narcissist needs and supplies. I truly believe that narcissists put multiple people together in their lives to fulfill different types of supplies in their life. Like they have one, let's take the cheating narcissist, because that's the easiest thing to talk about. Let's take the cheating narcissist. They have one supply for financial gain. They have one person that gives them money. This could be a male narcissist or a female narcissist. They have one supply that gives them money. They have one supply that gives them, love, affection. They have one supply that they communicate with very well. That's a communication supply. They have one supply that fulfills, the sexual needs and things like that. You put them all together, you get the perfect supply for a narcissist, but it's more than one person. And a narcissist can live like that for a very long time. That's why you get a lot of these narcissistic men and women that are living, multiple lives. They have dual lives. You're like, my narcissistic ex-husband or whatever had a whole nother family that he was taking care of. Had a whole nother relationship where they were taking family pictures and family photos, and then he'll come home the same day and do the same thing with me. I had no idea until I found out. The other person found out and reached out to me. And let us. Then we collaborated, and we found out that they had been doing. He had been doing this for years. I'm like, wow, and it doesn't surprise me. It just made sense to me. I just say narcissists with kids. They have one kid that might be the intellectual kid. They have one kid that's the golden child or whatever, and they have one kid that's the scapegoat that they blame and put everything on. There's not one perfect person for a narcissist. I just truly believe that. And that's why they go out here and they cheat. They create multiple families. They do this affair thing. They emotionally cheat on you. A lot of them, I think, I talk to quite a few narcissists, y'all. When I'm doing my one-on-ones and just through Messenger and things like that. I talk to quite a few narcissists that really, truly believe. I talk to quite a few narcissists that really, truly believe that emotional cheating is not a thing. They just don't think emotional cheating is not a thing for narcissists because, we don't feel emotions like everybody else does. Emotions don't connect like everybody else does. So how can we cheat emotionally? It makes sense to me, but it makes sense to me that a narcissist would say that. But it also makes sense that a non-narcissistic person would consider that emotional cheating regardless, because you're talking to somebody else. You're telling somebody else you love them. Because you get a lot of times these narcissists be having affairs online with people in different countries that they'll never ever meet. People across the country that they'll never ever meet. You mean they telling somebody in, let's say they live in California, and they're telling somebody in Ireland that they'll never ever meet. They have no plans on meeting. That they love them. I love you so much. Good night. Stuff like that. Emotional affairs, like emotional cheating and stuff like that, just to fulfill the emotional supply that a narcissist needs. And I know you're going to ask, like, why can't the husband or the wife be the emotional supply for the narcissist? Because I say this a lot of times. When you are married to a narcissist, the stuff that you say to a narcissist, the stuff that you give to a narcissist, and the stuff that you do for a narcissist, it all becomes arbitrary. It's like, if you don't know what arbitrary means, it means just you're supposed to do it. You're my wife, you're supposed to love me. You're my wife, you're supposed to do this for me. You're my wife, you're supposed to say that about me. You're my wife, you're supposed to pick me up for this. You're my wife, you're supposed to lift me up when I'm down. You're supposed to do whatever. You're supposed to give me blind loyalty and things like that. And it goes for husband as well. But, I just say wife, he, him, But it literally goes both ways in that section right there. That's why I truly believe that there is not a perfect person for a narcissist. And don't let that go over your head and just feel like Lee, I'll never be enough for him. You can't be. It's not your fault. You can't, unless you can manufacture 25 different personalities and cope to this every person's way. Like, you have to be extremely malleable and willing to change, like on a dime. You can't do that, because then you lose yourself. And then when you lose yourself, you become less of the person you originally were when you first met that narcissist. They tend to discard you and devalue you. When you get the further you get away from the person you were in the beginning of a relationship with a narcissist, the more that they would start to devalue you, and then they will end up discarding you, or then they'll start cheating on you and just keep you on the side. They'll just keep you around because you're comfortable, because you're convenient, and things like that. So I hope that makes sense to y'all, because the less you become, the more you get away from who you were originally. When you first met that narcissist, who that narcissist fell in love with when they were love bombing you, the more you get away from that person, the worse you're going to get treated by a narcissist. It's just how it is. And the crazy thing about it is, the narcissist is the reason that you're getting that way, because we start to withdraw love, affection, and caring from you. So you start to lose yourself because you're trying to prove yourself to us. You're trying to prove yourself to the narcissist in your life. So that's why I say self-love is your greatest weapon against a narcissist. It just is. Like, loving yourself more, will have you taking care of yourself better, and not dealing with narcissists and protecting. And like, you won't worry so much about the narcissist. You won't need that appreciation or that validation from a narcissist, because even when you leave a relationship with a narcissist, I've talked to so many men and women who have been out of a relationship with narcissists for over a year, years even. They still subconsciously seek that validation from that narcissist. Why am I still feeling this way? Well, I haven't talked to this person since October or since last year. Because you didn't get it. You tried so hard for so long to get it. Now that you're out of their relationship and now you're accomplishing stuff, you want to know that person to know that you did it. Hey, I did it. Even though they didn't care, they didn't believe in you, and they were holding you back. The reason you did it is because they were no longer with you. They were no longer around you and things like that. I hope that makes sense. You know what I mean? I really, really hope that makes sense. I hope y'all heal. I hope y'all, stay strong in this journey, because I know it's a lot to deal with. You're dealing with a narcissist. I'm a narcissist. I know I'm a lot to deal with. I just do. But anyways, y'all, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to start my live show in October. I'm getting everything set up. I'm trying to do it every Sunday or every Saturday. I haven't done it. It's going to be like a call-in show. I don't know who's going to be the guest. My therapist said I need to start working, because I don't like doing I like being alone, but I don't like being lonely. So I have to start working with more people. She said, you need to branch out and start to collaborate with people. So I'm going to collaborate with more people, like I've been doing with Cynthia here lately. But anyways, y'all, like and subscribe to the channel. I really, truly appreciate every single one of y'all. Mental Illness is out. Peace.